Hi, my name is Bonnie Barker. I'm with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and I wanted to show you a stitch that I'm really excited about. It's called the large wheat stitch. I wanted to show you examples here of what I'm calling the wheat stitch. I've used it in some of my designs, especially in the Contemporary Celtic Crochet book. I have a new book coming out this fall that's going to actually go a little bit bigger and bolder with some of these cables. I think you're going to really like it if you're really into crocheted cables. So again, this is the example of what a regular or the smaller wheat stitch would look like. This is also worked with a DK weight yarn, and of course the bigger the yarn, the bigger the cables. The center here is an example of taking it a little bit bigger. I'm going with 3 strands, or rather 3 double crochets and trebles. I use a combination of the two, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you. But I do a little differently than what you might commonly see in a lot of other crochet examples that end up with kind of a boxy, stiff-looking cable. I'm going to show you a way to make them a little smoother and a little more, a little more elegant, I think. So here, let me put this aside and let's get started. I'm going to be only working the large cable, and I'm working it into a row of just regular double crochet. I've started off with 21 stitches here, but that's so that I give the stitch a little bit of a border here with these 2 double crochets. So technically these 2 stitches here aren't a part of what we're going to do today. The actual large wheat cable takes 17 stitches. Okay, and I start out by separating it from the other fabric by using a half double crochet. Pull it through all the strands here. And now I'm going to do 3 front post double crochets. 1. And front post, for those of you who've never done this, is where you go in the front door and out the side door. It's like giving the double crochet a belt from the front side. Okay. Now we're going to do another half double crochet. Now the half double crochets are worked in the normal fashion that you would, going through the 2 top loops, or what I like to call the V of the stitch. Okay. Now we're going to do 3 more front post. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we're going to do another half double crochet, again going through the top loops only. So let's stop and see what we've gotten so far. So far we have a half double crochet, 3 front post double crochets, a half double crochet, and 3 more front post double crochets, and a half double crochet. Okay, we're halfway there for this row. Now we're going to work 3 more front post double crochets. Get some more yarn supply here, and then a half double crochet. Okay, now we're going to do that one more time. 1, 2, 3 front post DCs, and then a half double crochet. Okay, now remember, these last 2 stitches are just for the sample. This is not really having to do anything with doing this stitch. And I like to chain 2 because I don't like to have a big old ugly hole on the side of my work, but if you want to follow the Craft Yarn Council of America's directions, they would suggest you chain 3. If you're using my patterns, you only need to do 2. So now this is the back side facing, and what we're going to do now is we're going to half double crochet in the half double crochet. Okay, this keeps the height as you go across even. Now we're going to do 3 back post double crochet by going in the back door and around. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're building this. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the half double crochet, and then we're going to do 3 more back post double crochets. Oops. Okay, another half double crochet, and 3 more back post double crochets, half double crochet again. So you can do 3 back post double crochets and a half double crochet, 3 back post double crochet, half double crochet across the row, or at least through the 14, or I'm sorry, through the 17 stitches. I'm going to half double crochet here, and then I have these end stitches. I'm just going to go ahead and put half double crochets there too. I hope that doesn't confuse you. This is, again, not part of what we're working on. It's just to frame it a little bit. Okay, so the first 2 stitches, let's get out of the way. Okay, now let me show you what we have. This is the beginning of row 3, and you would only have to do this as you're establishing your base. Okay, let me hold that back there so you can see. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our half double crochet, and this is where the cabling part comes in. It gets a little bit tricky, but still very, very doable. Okay, we're going to skip these 3 front posts, and we're going to half double crochet in the half double crochet. You know, by doing this, it kind of takes some of the stress and the boxiness out of the stitch. And by the way, this is a stitch I've developed for my cabling patterns. I've never seen this done anywhere this way before. If I'm stepping on anyone's toes, I apologize. But this is something that we kind of came up here at Bonnie Bay Crochet. Now, before I wrap my hook, I want to tell you, when we do the cabling part, this part of the stitch, we're going to use treble crochets. It's not a typo if you see the stitch type change. Hopefully it's not a typo. But you do need to pay attention. We want the longer stitch for this part of the cable. We're going to put a treble in the first, or in the 3 second grouping. You see here, we skip these, and we're going to put a treble here. Now this is a tricky part, but it's actually easier with the larger wheat stitch. We're going to treble crochet into these 3 stitches, but we're going to do it as we work behind these. And it's not really that hard if you follow my hook. Come in through the hole, through the back door, you see that? And then we're going to go, well, let me see, let me try that again. I'm going to wrap it twice. You come in through the hole, and if you want, you can kind of push, crochet it this way. We're doing a front post, treble. We're going to do that 3 times, and this is probably the most difficult part. Again, come into the hole, and you want to pick up, here we go, you can see it here, the second stitch. We're going to treble around it. Believe me, it's one of these things that you can feel it better than you can see it. And this is the 3rd front post that we're trebling around. Okay, so this is what we have now. We have these have crisscrossed themselves. Now we're going to put a half double crochet in the next half double crochet. Okay, this is the most difficult part. I promise this next part is much more straightforward. Now we're going to skip 3 stitches again. And we're going to put a half double crochet in the half double crochet. So it looks kind of like this. It looks a little stressed, I know, but this is not going to be showing. Now we're going to do 3 trebles, 1 treble in each of these front post stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now this part is easier. We just treble by working in front of these stitches. We're going to work trebles in the 3 stitches we just skipped down here. That's 1, 2, 3. Now to finish off the 17 stitches of this cable, we do a half double crochet in the last half double crochet. Okay, now I'm just going to put half double crochets in the last 2 stitches. Again, these are just the framing stitches, or at this point in your work you would be going on to whatever else you're working on. Okay, now for this will be the 4th row. Okay, we had our base row here, and we had our first row of the cable, 2nd row, the 3rd row. Okay, the 4th row, chain 2. Let's just go ahead and get through our framing stitches. Okay, now to begin the cable, we're going to half double crochet in the half double crochet, and now we're going to do 3 back post double crochets, not trebles, but double crochets. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Now here's the important part. Between the last stitch and the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. This will be right in the center of the cable. You see that? Right in the center of the cable. And I get a lot of confusion on this sometimes. People are like, where's the stitch? Where's the stitch? Well, it's between the last stitch you just did and the next stitch you're going to do, or the center of the cable. Okay, now for the next 3, we're going to back post double crochet 3 stitches. That's 2. And that's 3. Now we're going to skip this half double crochet, and we're going to half double crochet here, which should be in the center of the larger part of the cable. Now we're going to do this again. 3, 3 back post. Oh, it helps if you can get this strand around the cable. There you go. 3 back post double crochets. These will be around the trebles that you did the last row. That's 1, 2, 3. Now we're to the center of the cable again, and that's where you put a half double crochet. You're not really adding a stitch because we are skipping this other half crochet back here. So the stitch count does remain constant with this pattern. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 more back post double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then we half double crochet, and then our 2 border stitches here. Again, just for the sample, this is not necessarily part of the cable. Okay, then we're going to turn. Let's see what we got. Can you see how that's starting to come about? It's a little bit smoother. It's not quite as harsh a cable as some of the more traditional cabling can be. Okay, let's try for the next row. This would be row 5. And this is where we begin to repeat. It's going to be the same as the row down here. It may look a little different, but it's the same. We're going to work 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2, 3, a half double crochet, always goes in the half double crochet, and then 3 more, front post double crochets, and then half double crochet in the center here, and then get some more yarn, and 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then half double crochet in the half double crochet, which is always going to be in the center of the side cables or the main cable, and then 3 more front post double crochets, 1, 2. If you have any trouble with any of these, more basic stitches, feel free to visit my channel. I've got all the basic stitches there as well, should you need to take a review of that. This is more for an intermediate crocheter who is competent in the basic stitches, which would be single crochet, double crochet, treble, slip stitch, etc. Okay, so this is basically what we do. From this point, you would repeat. You would go ahead and repeat rows 1 through 5. Is that correct? 1? Yeah, 1 through 4 actually. It's a 4-row repeat. So let me show you again what this can look like. Again, using smaller yarn. This is what we would get. The cables, each of them kind of turning out from the middle. Okay? I hope that blesses you. You guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.